Hello, brothers, sisters, friends. Welcome to another Coffee Moments with the Father. And for today, we'll continue our series on mental and emotional health well-being. So today, I want to talk about language, the power of language, and how language can actually affect our mental and emotional well-being. So this is based on theory, psychological theory, relational frame theory. Before that, let me read some verses for you from the Bible where it talks about how our mind, our words, our language actually affects us. Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 18. There's one whose rash words are like sword thrust, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Matthew chapter 12, verse 36. I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give an account for every careless word they speak. So you see from the Bible, God says language matters. Language can affect us. Our words can affect us. And if our words are harsh, punitive, unkind, it will affect our mental and emotional well-being and the mental and emotional well-being of other people. So, how does this fit in to the relational frame theory? The theory goes like this. The ability of a mind to collect information, connect them together, and relate this information to one another. The relationship could be direct or derived. This relationship forms a web or frame so as to help us to make sense of our world and to help us solve problems easier. So there are three keywords here: collect, connect, and relate. So, our mind. God gave us a wonderful mind. And you know what our mind does? As our mind listen, look around the world, observe, it starts to collect information. And this starts when we were little babies. That's how baby learns. They see, they hear, they feel, and then they collect a lot of information. And then after collecting this information, they try to connect them together. And after connecting them together, they try to relate all this information, A, B, C, D, E, everything, so that they can make sense of their world. And so that they can use this information to help them to solve problem easier. And the interesting thing is this relationship, it's either direct, that means a direct information that they hear it themselves, they see it themselves, they feel it themselves, or derive. That means they did not actually touch it, see it, feel it, but they heard it from somebody else. And because they heard it from somebody else, they're able to relate them together. That's the power of the mind. Anyway, I'm not going to go into too much psychology. Okay? And if you want to, you can go and study out this theory. It's a very powerful theory, relational frame theory. So the whole idea is this: language helps us to solve problems. God gave us the ability to speak. Words help us to solve problems. Isn't that exciting to know that? But just as language is very helpful, language also causes sufferings. You think, is that true? Well, we just read from the verse, right, where God says our words can actually hurt other people. Our careless words can be like a sword that thrusts into the heart of another man or woman. And in fact, our words can actually also thrust into our own heart. We speak words two ways. One, verbally, and secondly, our minds speak words to ourselves. Thoughts, that's what they call. Okay? So if you don't realize it, take a moment. If you close your eyes, you can see a variety of thoughts that comes in. Like, oh, what am I doing? Oh, are you listening to this guy? He's kind of silly. What is he talking about? Your mind actually talks to you verbally. So that language has been derived through your experiences, and that language talks to you. It actually helps you. Okay, so your mind speaks to yourself. It helps you to solve problem, but it also causes sufferings. Now let me show you an example. How does this work? All right, how does language helps you to solve problem, but at the same time it causes problem? So imagine this is you, and you have a baby. So that is a direct information that you collected. You have a baby named Jewel. Another direct information that you collected and you connected to yourself. And so the baby could be named Jewel. This is a derived information. Do you see how you connect? You have a baby, and the name of the baby is Jewel. So your mind connects this information and derive another connection. It relates them together. So who is Jewel? Your baby. And you heard that there's a woman that push a tram that is around, but you have not seen them before. So it's an information that you heard. It's a collected information. And you heard that the woman's name is Candy. So another direct information that you collected and connected and related. And you heard that there is a woman with this tram that steals baby. And so what you get is a woman that push a tram, a woman that push a name Candy, and a woman that push a baby tram that steals baby. So your mind derive this connection together, that Candy is a woman that pushed the tram and steals baby. Isn't it amazing how your mind works to help you to solve problem? One day, there's a man that moves next door to your house. And so that's a direct information that you collected. And you saw a woman with a tram that moved into the house. Another direct information. And you heard from the man that his wife's name is Candy. And that is another direct information that you receive. And so from this information, you derive that this man's name is Candy, and that she is the same woman that pushes the tram around town, and maybe that she steals baby. Then one day, the man came to you and said, let's go fishing. And you said, oh, who is going to take care of my baby? And the man said, don't worry, my wife will help you with your baby. And when you heard that, suddenly all the information that you have derived together comes together, help you to solve a problem. Candy is this man's wife, and I saw her with a tram. You derive the information though you yourself have not talked to her, and you remember Candy steals baby. It's another derived information. Then you say, oh no, what is going to happen to my baby if his wife were to help with my baby? So, will Candy steals my baby? So can you see how in that picture your mind, through language, whether it's direct information where you collected and connected and relate together, it gives you the power to solve problem. And so when you hear, Candy, this man's wife, is going to take care of my baby, she'll roll a tramp. No way, no way, no way I'm going to let this woman take care of my baby. I am not going to go fishing with you. But at the same time, even though it helped you solve problem by making all those relationships together, it also caused sufferings. You might say, how does that happen? Think about it. Candy might not be that same woman, right? This Candy might not be the Candy that actually steals baby. And in fact, the woman that pushed the cart into the house might not even be his wife. It could be his sister. But because your mind works in an interesting way, it connects all this information that you've collected and try to relate them together by deriving relationship through that web. Your mind suggests to you and assume that this is trouble. And so where's the suffering that comes from? Yes, it helped you, but the suffering and the pain that comes from is you dare not to become a friend with your neighbor. And you don't want to be a friend. And so you lose the chance to be a good friend to your neighbor by going fishing with your neighbor. And so you feel the pain of loneliness. Language helps us to solve problems. But at the same time, language can also cause sufferings because our mind collects, connect, relate all this information together. They help us to make sense of our world, try to solve problems, but because it does that, it also creates suffering. So what's my point? My point is this: when you relate to the language that you speak to yourself, whether verbally or mentally, learn to be kind to yourself. Let's read some other verses in the book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 12, verse 18, we read this before. There is one whose rash words are like sword thrusts, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Proverbs chapter 16, verse 24. Gracious words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the body. Words, language is powerful, right? Because like the example earlier, you connected the language, right? The word, Candy steals baby. And that helped you, could have helped you, or also it could have caused problem and suffering for you. So in other words, certain words that you say to yourself can actually hurt other people or actually hurt you emotionally or mentally. So what you say to yourself, whether verbally or through your mind, matter. So learn to be kind to yourself, especially when you make mistakes. Okay, let me give you a very specific practical example. For example, when you make a mistake or something terrible happen to you, sometimes you tend to tell yourself what? Oh, I'm so useless. Remember, Candy, still baby? Oh, I'm so useless. You might not say that verbally, but you might say that in your mind. Why so useless? Always make mistake. Now think about it. What will your mind try to do to solve problem? What do you do when things are useless? Right? If this thing is useless, it's broken, what do? You throw it away. And so, in the same way, when you tell yourself, I'm useless, Candy, still baby, I'm useless, Tek Ming, useless. So, Tek Ming, useless. Try to solve problem. What do you do with this Tek Ming? Throw him away. And that's why there's pain in your heart with the kind of words you tell yourself, whether verbally or mentally. Here's another one. A phrase that we commonly say. Why are you so stupid? Oh, I'm so stupid. I made the same mistake again. Huh! Cannot believe. How can I be so stupid to make this mistake? Now, same idea. Candy, still baby. What do you do with people that are stupid? Okay, I don't want you to call people stupid, but think about it. If you know this person is not very clever, he's kind of stupid, what do you do? Or what won't you want to do? You won't want to consult them. You don't believe in them. So if you call yourself stupid, right? Tech Ming, stupid. Will you believe in yourself? Tech Ming, stupid. So why do I want to consult myself? Why do I want to believe in myself? So again, you cause pain in your heart. You make yourself doubt yourself. Here's another one. I am ugly. You look at the mirror. Why am I so ugly? Terrible looking. You know, we tend to do that. We compare ourselves to those handsome actors, beautiful actresses, models, that we see in movies or magazines, and then we tell ourselves, oh, I'm so ugly. Now, again, Candy, still baby. What do you do with ugly things? Think about it. Okay, if this thing is ugly, of course it's beautiful. But if it's ugly, what do you do with it? You hide it. You don't want people to see it. So, have you ever wondered about yourself? Why you don't like to socialize sometimes? Why you want to avoid going out? Why you're afraid to meet people who seems to be more together than you? Because you tell yourself, I'm ugly. They won't accept me. Tech Ming, ugly. Candy, still baby. I'm ugly, so I better hide. Let no one sees me. Right? Now, another thing that we do when we feel we are ugly, what do you do with things that are ugly? You cover them up. We try to cover up by putting up a beautiful facade where our hearts, though, is insecure. So outwardly we look nice, but in our heart we feel afraid and insecure, and there's pain in our heart. Ugly. Tech Ming, ugly. Candy, still baby. So watch your words. Be kind to yourself, especially when you make mistakes. Learn to speak gently, kindly to yourself, with compassion and grace, just like what the Bible says. So be kind to yourself. Let go of harsh and punitive words. When next time when you make a mistake, if you catch yourself telling yourself, I'm stupid, hey, stop it. Don't tell yourself stupid. Instead, use the proper phrase, I made a mistake. Okay? Don't say, I'm stupid. I made a mistake. That is a kinder phrase, a kinder language. Use gracious words, gentle words. I love myself. Right? I love myself. Tech Ming might not be the smartest person in the world, but hey, I have some knowledge. Use to balance that. I have some knowledge. And learn to accept yourself when you make mistakes. So brothers and sisters, I hope this has helped you. Language is powerful. It helps us to solve problems. But at the same time, language can cause suffering. So learn to be kind to yourself. Learn to not speak those punitive, unkind, and harmful words, whether verbally to ourselves or mentally to ourselves, because that will cause you more suffering and pain. So be kind to yourself. Amen. See you again, brothers, sisters, friends. Thank you for another Coffee Moments with the Father.